Some stories are so strange they feel made up. A group of hikers vanish in the snow. A signal from space that speaks once, then never again. A hum that only a few can hear. From strange sounds to buried secrets, these mysteries are real, they happened, and they still don't make sense. Ready to uncover what the world can't explain? On a freezing February night in 1959, 9 experienced hikers disappeared in the Ural Mountains of Russia. What was supposed to be a thrilling expedition turned into one of the strangest and most unsettling cold cases in modern history. The group set up camp on the slopes of what locals call Dead Mountain, but something that night pushed them over the edge, literally. They slashed their tent open from the inside and ran into the snow, barefoot and barely dressed, in temperatures colder than minus 20 degrees Fahrenheit. That alone would be enough to raise questions. But what search teams found later made things even stranger. Some of the bodies had cracked skulls and broken ribs, but no visible wounds. One hiker was missing her tongue and eyes. There were no signs of a struggle, no footprints from attackers, and no evidence of an avalanche. Just frozen silence and a lot of confusion. Some theories say an avalanche caused panic. Others point to secret Soviet military tests in the area. There are wild ideas about infrasound triggering a state of madness, and of course, plenty of people blame aliens. The official Soviet investigation came to a vague conclusion. The hikers died due to an unknown compelling force. The mystery continues to fascinate and frighten. Books, documentaries, and new investigations have offered more guesses, but no solid answers. Just 9 people running into the dark, leaving behind the most chilling mystery in Russian mountaineering history. Now that's unsettling. But if you think that's bizarre, wait until the universe decides to send us a message loud and clear. The WoW single only lasted 72 seconds, but it might have been the most exciting minute and a bit in the history of space science. In 1977, an astronomer named Jerry Eman was scanning the sky with Ohio State's Big Ear radio telescope when something completely unexpected happened. A sudden burst of radio energy coming from the direction of the constellation Sagittarius hit the telescope's receivers. It was strong, focused, and unlike any other signal they'd ever picked up. Jerry circled it on the printout and scribbled "WOW" in red ink, hence the famous name. What made this signal so mysterious is how perfect it was. It wasn't background noise, and it didn't match any known satellite or natural space object. There were no repeating pulses, just one clear, powerful message from somewhere out in the cosmos, and then nothing. Was it aliens? Some think so. Others say it might have been a classified military transmission or a glitch nobody's been able to duplicate, but the signal has never repeated and no source has ever been confirmed. This 72-second blip has become the holy grail for people hunting for extraterrestrial life. It's inspired decades of listening, waiting, and wondering. But since that day, all anyone has gotten is static. One blip, one moment, and a question that still echoes across space. Was somebody trying to say hello? And just when you think the skies hold all the mystery, our next case takes us deep underground to a cursed island filled with treasure traps and centuries of secrets. Off the coast of Nova Scotia lies Oak Island. a quiet patch of land that has driven treasure hunters mad for more than 2 centuries. It all began in the late 1700s when a young boy noticed a strange depression in the ground. He and his friends started digging, thinking they'd find pirate gold. What they uncovered instead was the beginning of one of history's most frustrating mysteries. Digging led to a shaft with wooden planks placed every 10 feet, almost like someone had built it to be discovered. But just when they got deep enough, the entire pit flooded with seawater. Since then, every attempt to reach the bottom has ended the same way. Flooded tunnels, collapsed structures, and zero treasure. They call it the money pit, but so far, it's only swallowed money, equipment, and decades of effort. Over the years, search teams have found strange stone inscriptions, ancient coins, and even tools made of coconut fiber nowhere near the Caribbean. Some believe it holds the treasure of Captain Kidd or Blackbeard. Others think it hides something even bigger, like the lost writings of Shakespeare or secret Templar artifacts. The island is also loaded with traps and underground tunnels that still confuse modern engineers. Despite all this, the mystery lives on. The TV series, The Curse of Oak Island, has brought new attention to the search, but even they haven't cracked the code. What's buried beneath Oak Island? Treasure? A cover-up? Or just one of the world's most brilliant hoaxes? Either way, the pit still waits. But now let's move from buried secrets to a burning question that haunted one family for decades. What really happened to the Sauter children? It was Christmas Eve, 1945, when the Sauter family's home in Fayetteville, West Virginia, caught fire just after midnight. George and Jenny Sauter and 4 of their children escaped the flames, but 5 others were never seen again. No bodies were found, no bones, just ashes, and a mystery that would haunt the family for the rest of their lives. At first, investigators assumed the missing children had died in the fire, but as days passed, doubt began to grow. Fire experts later stated that a blaze of that size and length would not have completely cremated human remains, especially bones. That alone raised eyebrows. And then came the strange details. The phone line had been cut. A ladder usually propped against the house was found tossed down a nearby embankment. A driver said he saw someone throwing balls of fire onto the roof. A woman claimed to have seen the children peeking out from a car window the next morning. Years later, a photo was sent to the Sauters of a man believed to be one of the sons grown up. Even more chilling, a local witness claimed to have seen the children in the company of unknown adults at a hotel just days after the fire. George and Jenny followed every lead, traveling across the country, hiring private detectives, and even involving psychics. But nothing led to a clear answer. Some believe the children were kidnapped as revenge for George's outspoken criticism of Mussolini. Others say the entire event was a tragic accident that spiraled into speculation. Either way, the Sauters never stopped searching. They even built a massive billboard along Route 16 with photos of the children and a simple plea: what was their fate? Did the fire erase every trace of 5 children? Or did something far darker take place that night? But if sound alone can drive people to the edge, wait till you hear the unexplained noise that's been tormenting a town for decades. Let's head to Taos. Imagine living in a town where you constantly hear a sound, one that no one can find, and not everyone can even hear. That's exactly what's been happening in Taos, New Mexico. For decades, some residents have reported a low, constant hum in the background. It sounds like a distant diesel engine, even when no machines are around. The sound isn't just annoying, it's deeply unsettling. People say it keeps them up at night, gives them headaches, and makes them feel like they're going crazy. But here's the catch, not everyone hears it. Only about 2% of the local population is affected, which only adds to the mystery. In the 1990s, the US government actually launched an investigation into the Taos hum. They brought in scientists, sound engineers, and hearing specialists. Equipment was installed to track any unusual frequencies, but despite all the effort, they couldn't find a source. No radio signals, no underground machinery, nothing. Some theories suggest it's caused by distant industrial equipment or low-frequency sound waves from natural sources like earthquakes or shifting tectonic plates. Others go deeper: military experiments, secret government tech, or even electromagnetic frequencies interfering with the human brain. And of course, there's the theory that it's all in people's heads, a kind of mass psychological effect. Still, many who hear the hum insist it's real. It's not just in Taos either. Similar humming has been reported in Bristol, England, and parts of Canada and Australia. It's global, it's eerie, and it's completely unexplained. Imagine living your life with a sound that no one else can prove is there. The Taos hum remains one of the strangest environmental mysteries still unsolved. From hikers running into the frozen unknown to strange signals from the stars, a buried treasure pit to missing children, and a hum no one can trace. These mysteries show us how little we really know about the world around us. They push the limits of science, logic, and sometimes even sanity. So what do you think? Were these mysteries caused by nature, something man-made, or forces we can't even explain yet? Drop your theories in the comments. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.